You're listening to the Money Mike Syndicated Radio Podcast. How we doing? How we doing? WNBA MVP. Who's going to take that award? That one's going to get real interesting as I break it down. But as I told you once, I'll tell you twice, and I'll tell you again. Caitlin Clark's going to win the WNBA MVP. It's going to be by a runaway. And I want to bring this to you. The WNBA, I was taking a look at it. Who's going to be the MVP? And I ran a story. I said, well, Caitlin's going to be the runaway with the MVP, and there's no doubt about it. The criteria is really something that I found very interesting of how the selection process goes and how do they choose the WNBA MVP and how it works and why do I believe Caitlin's going to be the runaway. And I'll kind of walk it through because the way the WNBA do it is completely different between the NBA. So you got two different operations that are going on that are really dictating who can be the MVP and who's not going to be the MVP, and that's just the way it works. But when you do actually win it or you become the MVP, that it comes under a different selection process. Let me give it to you, and I'll back it up, and I'll bring it to you in a correct fashion. In the NBA, the first thing you're going to do to be eligible to be the most valuable player in the NBA, you're going to have pretty much 65 games they want you to put on the court as you go out and play. Right? They want you to play at least 65 games during the regular season and that's going to dictate. This rule was implemented back in 2023-24, such as playing 85%. Now, getting into an elaboration of it, 65 makes sense. They want the players to board. Exception for injuries allow you to go down to 62. Here's where the criteria starts changing a little bit, and it was quite surprising to me because I wanted to know what were the requirements and what is the actual criteria to win the WNBA or the NBA MVP. The MVP award is intended to recognize the player who has been the most valuable to their team, taking into account factors like individual statistics, team success, and overall impact, according to Forbes. The voting process, the MVP award is divided by a panel of media members who cast their votes at the end of the regular season, according to Associated Press USA. Impact on players, 65 rule game has criticized fans, some players don't want to play, and that's been a major issue. Now, let's go over to the WNBA. The WNBA MVP award is given to the player deemed the most valuable to their team and to the league. While the criteria for the selection is subjective, voters consider statistics, overall team performance, and a player's impact on their team's success. The award is decided by a panel of sports writers and broadcasters who vote for their top five choices with points awarded based on placement. Here's a detailed breakdown of what factors into the MVP consideration for the WNBA. Statistics. While not the sole determining factor, a player's statistical output, points, rebounds, assists, etc., is a significant indicator of their impact. Team performance. The MVP is often, but not always, from the team with the best record. Impact on the team. Voters consider whether a player is the most crucial player to their team's success. This can include the ability to lead, create opportunities for others, and make a difference on both offense and defense. Individual performance. While team performance is considered, the MVP award also recognizes exceptional individual play. Now let's get to the voting process. The voting process consists of sports writers and broadcasters cast their ballots listing their top five choices with a point value assigned to each placement. No specific minimums. Isn't a specific number of points, rebounds, or other statistic that guarantees MVP status. In essence, the WNBA MVP is multifaceted award that recognizes not only a player's individual brilliance, but also their impact on their team's success and the league as a whole. Now, I wanted to bring that to you because I believe there's factors that were covered And there is a major difference between the WNBA and the NBA. But I can tell you after reading that and the way it's voted in the point system, I will tell you this, there's only going to be one MVP. Her name is Caitlin, and she's going to take down the award. Everybody else, you just wasting time. Go ahead to the media of the WNBA. Please cast your ballots early. Can we do a preseason MVP? Because that's what Money Mike sees. It's Caitlin all day long. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm a fan of Caitlin, but at the same time, there is not possible for anybody else to win this award. Now, what I will do is I'll come back and I'll give you a secondary list later on. But I can tell you now, bet the house on Caitlin. The way the system is designed, it's impossible for Caitlin to lose. And I gave it to you. I promised you this. We'll do it different than anybody else. This is the Money Mike Syndicated Radio Podcast. All things are possible to those who believe. And the WNBA is kicking off. I'm going to kick in that NBA playoffs. Lakers, 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 California. But as it stands now, Caitlin Clark will be the MVP of the WNBA. We'll see you soon.